I got the coronavirus, and I know you have a lot of questions. Everyone has a lot of questions because there's not a lot of answers out there, but that's the reason I decided to make this video, to kind of create some type of documentation of my journey and experience so that someone out there could maybe use this as a resource to help them alleviate their own fear or confusion that I had, or at least feel like they're not going through this alone. Day one. So even before I got like really sick, I had noticed this type of tingling or burning sensation in the back of my throat, but it was very slight. It was brewing for about, a week or so by that time. I kind of had a feeling it was coronavirus, but I was still able to go about my normal business, like doing errands around the house and just feeling fine. But all of a sudden on day one, like in the middle of the evening, it kind of hit me all of a sudden, like a wave, a tsunami, like a truck hitting me, like a train hitting me, whatever the metaphor is. It all hit me at once, and I was like struck with a type of weakness where I just had to lay down, and I knew that I couldn't do anything else. Day two. This was the first day I felt like I really needed to stop what I was doing and just like rest without doing anything else. And it was an overwhelming feeling of weakness. It felt like I was literally sore all over my body, like say from a workout or something, but it was literally everywhere on my body, and like my skin was very sensitive. It was a very sensitive soreness, like with every touch it hurt. I also had a slight cough at this time as well. Could barely move. I didn't have a fever, but I think weakness was the best way to describe it. Day three. I had much of the same symptoms as the day before, but even like a full night's rest didn't really help. We also got the flu this year as well, and I noticed that the difference between this and the flu was, with that you would wake up and then you would feel a little bit better the next morning. Like you felt things progressively getting better, but with this, it felt more of the same. Like I woke up in the same state as I did when I fell asleep the night before. Not any better. Still weak, lethargic, with a slight cough. Day four. So day four, I was starting to feel a little bit better, not as weak, a little less coughing, though I thought I was almost getting through the sickness. I thought like the worst was over, but then all of a sudden, when the evening came around, everything just got like really worse again. And that's what I've noticed about this illness as well. It's kind of like you feel like you're getting better than worse than better than worse. And it just like, there's no rhyme or reason or schedule or routine to any of it. So that's what makes it very weird. Day five. So I had another day of just sitting around, feeling weak. This day in particular, I woke up with like a very scratchy throat, more than usual. It felt like very tender, as if you had a rash on the outside of your skin, but this time the rash were like, in my throat. I was coughing more. This is the first day I noticed much more difficulty breathing, kind of like as if someone were sitting on your chest all day, all night. Or another good way to describe it is like when you go into the pool and like you have your head very close to the water, it feels like very heavy on your chest. Day six. more difficulty breathing in still. Now I notice that, like, I'm not congested, but when I breathe in, like, my nostrils have this burning sensation, like it's super duper dry. So when you're breathing in, it burns from dryness. Your throat burns from dryness as you breathe in. It's hard to take a deep breath without having to cough, but at least no fever. Day 7. Still coughing more. The coughing is progressively increasing just because I think that my throat has been through a lot of abuse in the past few days, but feeling less weak. I got a random fever in the evening as well, which pretty much knocked me out. But other than that, just another day of feeling lethargic. Day 8. So this was the first morning that I actually woke up not feeling worse, but actually better. Like, throughout the rest of the mornings, I just kind of woke up in the status quo, but finally I woke up feeling more refreshed actually this morning. So I think that's a good sign. No fever, no weakness. So it's just the cough and the shortness of breath at this point. So right now we're on day 8. They say that this whole thing lasts about 14 days, maybe more for some people, but I wanted to create this to kind of document my own journey as well, as a record for myself as well as others to hopefully use as a resource. But again, my husband had different symptoms. He had it rough for the first 3 days. I seem like I've been going through it much longer than he has. He lost his sense of smell. I didn't. And actually, before anyone asks about getting tested and all that, we did contact our doctor about what to do about being tested, but what they had said was we're both too young, we're not in the high risk age group. If we have the symptoms, just stay inside, self-quarantine and take flu medication, but really don't bother getting tested because you're taking the tests away from people who actually need it. And I mean, that's what we did. It's it seemed nearly impossible to get a test done for us unless, we're a celebrity or rich or privileged or, all of that, which we are not. So overall, we hope that this video has helped. I plan on making an additional video about my next 7 days of recuperation, and we will keep you updated. Thank you. See ya.